Boy, oh boy.
I don't think Journey remembered that song to be 14 minutes long. But you did a hell of a job, boys. Well, let's get this started officially, shall we? Let's do that. Jacksonville and the surrounding counties, please, a big warm welcome for Mr. Jensen Eccles and Jared. Before you embrace them with your loving embrace, say adios to Mr. Bob Benedict and Mr. Michael Mora.
Yeah, my flight got canceled, so I had to hop on a new flight, so I gotta go.
Yeah, that's what fancy people do. That'll be nice.
We haven't even talked, but
We haven't talked.
how are things?
Hi and bye.
Hi and bye.
Unfortunately, this is going to come to rough paycheck. It's okay, everybody. Enjoy your time with Jared and Jensen. We were literally walking down the hallway. I was like, I know that song. But this is a long version of it. And then I realized, oh, I see what's happening here. Nobody.
Quickly before we start this, you and I did do something because I was in that hallway when I had solo. I was like, oh shit, I think it's us. I heard screaming, I was like, oh shit, I think it's Jensen. A little behind the scenes action. Jensen and I went 150 times before we walked on stage. Let's do it. All right, now we can talk. Now we can go. Bring it. Am I not scary? It is. Yes. Is it the beard? Is it the beard? Yes. I guess I'm more badass like. Bring it.
You got a joke on deck?
Do I? What do rednecks do on Halloween?
Each other! Say it!
I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Figure it out. Google it. I'm not gonna say it. I think there are children in the audience. I'm not gonna be responsible for the harm and PTSD caused. But Jensen told me that years ago.
Oh, I blame you?
I was giving you credit. Anyways, let's start with the questions. Love y'all.
Do you know what Tree's favorite holiday is Halloween?
I do not.
Bamboo. Whatever, his punchline was going to be pumpkin, okay? There you go. Figure it out.
Do you know what?
I'm not saying with that one. Go ahead. Let's start this conversation.
Do you know what?
The Muppet Man?
Shut up. Do you know what the arithmetic seed said when it grew up? The arithmetic seed, what it said when it grew up? Gee, I'm a tree. That's what it said. It said.
So you play money over here.
Aaron. Bamboo got you? Fuck off.
To be fair, that joke was written on the whiteboard.
I saw it! I wasn't going to set you up, but I saw it. And
I caught it on the way in.
in the back hallways where we go from room to room, they have chalkboards like, hey, no one's been hurt.
Remember to smile today.
Remember to wash your hands and smile. And one was like, what kind of tree? Yada yada. I thought he maybe saw it, maybe didn't. Oh, we're going to slow down, my boy. So, thank you, buddy. But you admitted. Oh wait.
Well, I was like, hey, you got any jokes? Because I figured you would have seen it, and I thought you were going to.
I did see it, but it was stupid. It didn't.
This bitch takes seed?
She on the tree. She on the tree.
Oh, no, I did it. But I wish I didn't. Okay, let's start this time?
Let's start
over.
No, go over here.
Over there?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, over here.
Sure. It's fine if we go over here.
All right, strong side.
Strong side.
Hi, my name is Zoe, and I'm 13, and I've been watching you guys since I was 4. And I wanted to ask, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Hi, Zoe.
Favorite childhood memory?
I think it's kind of a series. It's difficult to think of a specific one, but I had a great time playing outside. So when I grew up, it was before iPhones and iPods and iPads. When Vince grew up, it was before cars. So he had to carry water on his head. It would drip down. He was very handsome.
My furniture was made out of stone.
Correct. But I think I spent a long time trying to figure out what the heck was going on in my head because I didn't have all of the now all the distractions of social media and whatnot. I will say this. In my this is kind of pertinent because mine and Jen's sons ended up in a similar situation two weeks ago. But there were about 5 or 6 school friends I had in our neighborhood, and we were all kind of allowed to toilet paper each other's houses. Yeah. Our parents would go over there like, all right, y'all are next, and they're next, and they're next. It is what it is. We had to clean it the next day, but the excitement of it. I'm like, Zoe, nice to meet you. My favorite childhood memory was a lack of crime. I thought you were doing a terrible job of like parenting or like getting outside, playing basketball, all that.
I mean, I've got many. I'll choose one. When there was a roller coaster at Six Flags over Texas in Arlington, Texas, Arlington, and it was called Shockwave, and it had 2 loops, right? She keeps wooing you. Yeah, she's on the air.
Let's see the show.
And I was too short.
You don't say. I wasn't.
And still am. I'm still short. No, it's I think I turned when I was 6. I was finally just tall enough. I think they've raised the minimum since then because But when I was 6 years old, I was like, yes, I think I'm tall enough. And I went up there, and I was. And my brother, who was 3 years older than I was, he'd already been riding for a couple of years. So he was always making fun of me that I was, that I couldn't ride it. And I was finally tall enough. And I remember being so excited to walk up and be like, yes, I know I'm going to be tall enough. I know I'm going to be tall enough. And I got there, and I was, and then I was like, oh, no. Because I looked up and I just heard the screams as it was going by. But I'll never forget that first ride, and it's something that I can almost like still taste that adrenaline that I had as a kid when it was like a. So that's one.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Hi there.
Hi, I'm Jess.
Hi, Jess.
What is...
What team are you?
Sorry.
Team Jess or Team D?
I love both of them.
I'm not allowed to talk about this. Kidding, I guess.
What is your favorite or go-to fake curse word for when you can't actually curse, like in front of your kids? Or if you don't have a fake one, what's your favorite real curse word?
Hey, I'm gonna let Jensen start this.
Shiitake mushrooms.
I go with mother plus bucket.
What?
Mother plus bucket.
Mother
That's
plus-
actually disgusting.
No, the rest of that line is actually a reference. Nobody steps on a church in my town.
I don't know it.
Ghostbusters.
You said mother plus bucker?
Plus.
Mother plus bucket. Mother plus bucket?
Just say the word.
Frowned upon in your curse.
That's true.
I do it anyway.
I just think, shit! Talking mushrooms!
I think I'm more boring. I think I'm a fudge guy. Okay, hold on a second. I think that's the one that starts with an F is probably what I say most often. Genevieve wouldn't love it when I say it from the kids. So I do fudge. Yeah. I'd go with that. Maybe not as exciting as mother pasta. Holy shit. Shit. What do you say? A holy shit. If a shit holy sin, right?
That's the word. It wouldn't be much of a shit.
Well, Jess, thank you. Now my head's gonna be thinking about that. Bravo.
Hi there.
Hello, my question's from my wife, because she didn't get picked and I did. So,
Where is she?
my wife's question is, besides,
Wait, where's your wife?
Your question's for your wife. Hi, wife.
Hey.
Hi.
All right, what's her question?
This question's for you.
okay, it's, besides the 67 Impala, what is your dream car to be?
Amazing. Okay. His question was for you, so what's your answer? What's that? 65 Mustang hatchback. That's good. I had a 66 Mustang. I do have a good car. My first car that I bought was a 69 Camaro. That's almost done. He always teases me because it's been restored for about the last.
Since I've known him. No joke. He's like, oh yeah, this car, it's being restored. Since I met him, he's been talking about, I've never seen proof of life of this car, so I don't believe it.
We stopped asking for ransom. My favorite vehicle on the planet is a C2 Corvette convertible. So from 63 to 67, probably 67. And probably with the 327. The 427 did the front a little bit because it was heavy. Yeah, I'll go with let's call it.
How high would your head be in that car?
Sir, I don't appreciate that question.
They cut a hole in the roof.
Honestly, I would take the seat out. Just kidding. Well, that's it. Same as a 60 Impala or a 69 Camaro. It was, American made, so it's us. Mr. Eccles.
Many years ago, maybe early 2000s, I had a 1973 Ford Bronco. And it was just so fun. And I took that thing places I probably shouldn't have. I used to drive that thing through the LA River, which is not allowed. But it was late at night, and whatever. I sold it after a few years of owning it because I just didn't use it, and I was always working out of the city, and so it was, I felt bad. This is how much I love the car. I was like, somebody needs to drive this every day. So I ended up selling it to a sound guy who lives in Venice Beach, and he's like, this is going to be my daily drive. And I was like, perfect. So I sold it. I've always regretted it. So I am currently, right, like as we speak, building one that I found in 1969 by some restoring that one right now. And, should have it soon. That actually does exist.
Yours will be finished first?
What's that?
Yours will be finished first?
Whose will be finished first? No, this doesn't exist.
Mine's finished on show pictures.
Do it.
Not my phone. I threw my phone on the way and I was
Oh yeah, how convenient.
thanks a bunch. And thank you, wife. Is that your actual name as wife? What's your name? Susan. Susan, thank you. Thank you for loaning us your husband. Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
Well, speaking that, you made me cry 3 times yesterday.
Way to go, Jerry.
I'm sorry.
No, they were good too, so we're good.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Nice save.
So my question is, how do you not get caught up in fame and like realize that you're real people too?
We have wives. They remind us hourly.
We have wives when we get home from this weekend. And go like, you'll not believe this. We saw some tattoos from the characters. We heard about how people have watched us, like Zoe has watched us for 13 years essentially. And it's really cool. We met wife who heard that's better. And they're like, that's cool. The garbage needs to go in the street. And my shoes aren't on, so before you unpack, teasing. I think that's a great question. I would honestly say that for Jensen and me, it never really occurred to us. It was kind of a blessing and a curse that the show we worked on together was in Vancouver, because it wasn't like we were going to red carpets every night. Or like, this is the new hot club in Hollywood that you're invited to because you're on a TV show or something. It was sort of like, hey, you're going to work, it's cold and rainy outside, and you're going to have a great time, and you go home, you go to bed, and go to work again the next day. And so I feel like whatever degree of fame I have was kind of by accident. I think I just kept working, and then all of a sudden people were like, hey, I want on a show about some girls that were... that were gossiping, but no, like, that was before, so the first show I did from 2005, there was no such thing as like TiVo or DVR or Netflix, and so no one knew who the hell I was for like 3 or 4 years. Not that anybody does now, but I was probably like, I think I was auditioning for Supernatural, and someone was like, hey, weren't you that guy on that show? And I was like, yeah. And they go, oh my God, I love 7 Heaven. That's not me, but same channel. But so I basically, for me, I just kept working, and I think I'm a 24-year overnight success. That's kind of the way I like to hear it.
Yeah, I don't. It's not. I don't think as glorified as it is, or it's not. It's not what I think most people view it to be with Jared and I. We don't rely on what fame we have got, over the past 20+ years. We just kind of live normal lives, and occasionally somebody will come up and say, hey, aren't you that guy? Or it might be easier to get a dinner reservation. So there's a few things that you do notice. My wife, we rarely make reservations. We just kind of drop in because we don't know what the plan is usually. It's like, hey, I don't want to cook tonight. All right, let's go out. Where are we going? Let's go here. Great. gets the car, we drive over there, and we hope to have an open spot. But Daniel's favorite line is, all right, go out, use your face.
So what I do is I call, Jen and I will make reservations, and I'll call in and be like, hey, Jen Snaggles, table 4. A little show. So when I get to the front, like the Mater D stand, I'm like, hey, apples for 4. I'm like, oh yeah, where is he? I'm like, he just called. The kids are sick. We have to cancel. But Jen and I are here. We're like, okay. And you see all the chefs and bartenders like go back to their station. Like, oh, Jen's exactly okay. Shit. She's talking to my friends.
There is a little story that we haven't talked about in quite a while, where my face or whatever little fame I had somehow didn't work. So much so that it was, I found it to be a bit of a conspiracy. There was a restaurant in Vancouver called Blue Water. And they just wouldn't let me in. And I'm not kidding, this happened not once, not twice, but maybe 4 to 5 times. Where I would walk, like, Jared's like, hey, let's meet down at Blue Water. I'm like, great.
It was like halfway between where he lived and
Right. So I would get there maybe a few minutes before him, just because I left early, and then I walk in and I'm like, hey, you have room for 2? Place is empty. And she goes, no. And I'm like, no, no, okay. And I walk out right about that time. Jared starts walking up. And he's
It says to me like, hey, dude, apparently they're short staffed or something because the place is empty.
The place is empty, but they're saying no. And Jared's like, whatever. So he walks up.
I'm almost there. Let's have a drink at the bar. And
So Jared walks in, and I'm like, I kind of blacked out or something. I'm maybe texting somebody, and he walks in, and he's like in there for half a second, and turns back around. He's like, they got room, they got seats.
I walk and be like, hey,
That happened 4 times. And I'm like, what is the deal?
that's the coolest I ever felt in my life.
So angry. But anyway, to kind of go back to your question, it doesn't, we don't live a life that I think most people would think that maybe famous people live. We're not
I
like
don't
that.
think people do. I think the more I think about it, I think you and I talked about it. I mean, to be brutally honest, I think our fame, whatever that means, happened as a byproduct of he and I love to tell stories. We love to hear stories. We love to be part of families. So, not to be like braggadocious, but in the 15 years that we worked on a show together, he had many offers to go and do this action movie, that action movie, this TV show that paid more, yada, yada, yada. But he loved these guys named Sam and Dean and Cass and et cetera, et cetera. So I think our fame, in my opinion, you can correct me, but I think our degree of fame happened as a byproduct of us doing what we love doing. It wasn't to get famous. There were several things that he could have done to get more famous, or I could have done to get more famous. But it was more about being, we've said this many times, I'd rather have y'all in a room and them in a room, in the room, and chat about whatever than 20 Oscars. You know, like that's more important to me in the world.
About 21 Oscars.
No.
You would take.
What about 14 seagulls? Seagulls.
14 seagulls.
Hi guys, I'm Stephanie from Germany. So first of all greeting from all German fans.
Dankeschön.
And my question is, recently you have built up your the cast, the young powers, And I wanted to ask which were your most favorite part? Because mine, I loved it that you changed some of the sound, the subwoofer and so on. So I wanted to ask which was your favorite part?
Favorite part of the stuff that we did the air conditioning. Nothing worked in that car, honestly. Like it was a picture car. It didn't need, the radio didn't work, the AC didn't work, the dash instruments, none of it worked. None of it worked. It was just for show. I mean, it was, what season did they finally drop that big block in? Like, yeah, it took like 8 seasons of me, like, of us begging to, like, make the car sound like it should sound. So they finally did that, but they didn't do anything else. That thing was held together with duct tape and hope. Fear. Now they have been lovingly put together and made roadworthy. But I told them not to change anything kind of aesthetically, so the steering wheel is still kind of, it's the exact same way that it looked. I wanted it to look the same, feel the same, but it's much more reliable now. So
what scene or season was it when you were driving and I was in the passenger seat and they were like, okay, we're breaking for lunch. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna drive back to base camp with
it was a gravel parking lot. And I ended up doing donuts.
And he's like, I can't do donuts, which is fine. Like the car can do donuts, but
it was fire and pebbles and the whole crew. I'm like, why are these people diving behind cars right now? I was like, what's everybody running? People are just like,
I'm having the time of my life, and I'm like,
he's like, man, out the window going,
and I look out the window and I see like all the assistants like diving for the lights. And I'm like, weird. And then we start to realize that the rear tires, this rear-wheel drive, are just spewing gravel pellets at 60 miles an hour. And they're like diving for cover. Like, oh shit.
I love though that when we figured out what was happening, I think we went around like 3 or 4 more times.
I was like, well, they're already like on the ground. They're already on the way. Was it GD in there? Was it one of the like flashback episodes?
Might have been, yeah.
I feel like he was in the truck.
It was so great too because it's not like to be like, all right, well, Jensen doesn't get to drive the car anymore. They literally were just like, all right, that's the risk we run.
Yeah. Dankeschön.
They got it.
I don't know what that means. Thank you. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi.
So both of you have been, as we know, working for 25 plus years straight.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah. So you're in a different position right now, and you're both, I think, love working, love what you do. You're very artistic, creative. I know, Jensen, you've said that you're happiest when you're working. What are you doing? We all know, even with COVID, when things stop, then mentally it hits us. So what are you doing to keep yourself in the creative process and keep yourself busy and happy? Other than your families, I know,
It's a great question. I have a thought. You want to...
I've really kind of, buried myself, or really embraced just getting up and getting to be a dad every day. Because there were several years where I only got to do that on the weekends, or only got to do that a little bit here and a little bit there. So coming up with fun things to do with kids and just kind of embracing that, but knowing that it's temporary, this kind of intense pause. So just trying to absorb that. And I've built myself a little music corner in call it my office, but I'll sneak into there and sit down and just play guitar for a little while, stuff like that. But There's not much. I'm not like, you know, building a house or anything like that. I'm just kind of hanging out with the family day by day, looking forward to the holidays. We just had fun during Halloween, got Thanksgiving coming up. So, yeah, just embracing the time that I've got right now.
Yeah, I think much the same for me. It was difficult, and that's very astute of you to realize that, you know, because obviously if we're out in public, it's like, hey, we're doing good, hey, we're having a good time. But obviously on the inside, we're humans the same as every person in this room, in this hotel, and in this city and state and country and world. So it does get stressful, especially when I think, you know, he and I, for 15 years, every day we were able to accomplish something. It was busy, but it was like, okay, we just put in 16 hours, but that'll live on TV or DVD or Netflix or whatever forever. And so there was some like feeling of like, you did something. You know, you made this, you did that, you sacrificed this for that. So it has been difficult. This is the last time I filmed any sort of TV show or movie was like March 10th. So it's been almost 7 months, and prior to that, the longest I've gone was probably since year, like 3 or 4 months for the show he and I did. That there was a global pandemic that some of us on for a while. So it's been weird. It's been weird for sure. But I think much like Eccles, kind of hanging with the family, seeing what it's like to be a parent and a husband, and a friend, and a brother, and a son, this and that. So
That's what it's all about.
yeah, I'm realizing that. I'm a stubborn, thick-headed Pollock, so I'm slow to learn sometimes. But I'm here for it, and I appreciate people like you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mandy.
Andy?
Mandy.
Mandy.
So if you guys could go back to sitting there reading the very first script for the show We're All Here For, and you were in the room with yourselves, what would you say to yourselves?
Don't do it. Kidding.
What would, like, for me now, say to me then?
Yes.
Well, I would say, don't worry, you're going to play me. Because originally they were only reading for Sam's. They were auditioning for the role of Sam.
Obviously,
first.
someone was really fucking great at that.
Yeah, so there's somewhere out there in the ether is my audition tape for Sam. And I never did come back and read for Dean. They just immediately brought me to the final test audition, which is where I met him. And that was the first time I'd ever read Dean. Yeah, I put in and I want to go with groupies.
And then, for those who don't know, that's not uncommon for movies or TV shows and the like, is sometimes they just make everybody audition for one character to go like, okay, this person could be a great Crowley, this person could be a great Castiel, this person could be a great Bean. They all read the same thing. They want to see the way you kind of react. So it wasn't like he lost the little Sam. That's just what they do. I think every role I ever got, it was like they were auditioning. Here are your audition scenes. You know,
Yeah, I've been in a lot of roles that I never, that wasn't like, that was kind of a product of reading for something else. Like my role on another little show I did just prior to, I think Tom Welling was the lead. It came down to he and I for that role, and he ended up getting it. And then a few years later, they just called me up and said, "Hey, we've been looking for a way to bring you on. We really wanted to work with you. Really wanted you on the show." And then they created that role and just had me, just gave it to me. So a lot of those that happens, where you go in and you read for something and then you end up getting another role. And that happened with me. So that's what I would say. I would say to my younger self reading that for the first time, who was reading it thinking that Sam was the one that would be fighting for, I'd just be like, hey, don't worry, it's gonna be Dean. Because when I did the audition, I read for Sam and I was like, listen, can I just say, would you guys read for Dean? I'd love a shot at that. And Kripke and Nutter just looked at each other like, we already know. We got you. So that's maybe one thing I'd say. What would you say?
I think, amen to that, and I think that dovetails into kind of what I would say, which is more than about the show specifically, about talking to two guys or gals or whatever in their 20s, like starting their life. I don't think there's any such thing as like starting your life or going like, I'm gonna do this so that one day I can live this life I want. Like life is happening now. Like this is life. You know, that's what I've learned through friendships and through relationships. If you just sit down and beat yourself up for years and years, going like, once I get this, then I'll have life. And then I'll do what I want to do. Like, life is happening now. You're living life now. So I wish I could say, because a lot of 22-year-old Jared was upset. Like, this isn't where I thought I wanted to. I don't even know where Vancouver is.
Well, I think, you even talked about this. We've had discussions about it, but he was just coming off of Gilmore Girls. He was, early 20s, and he had a really good setup going in LA. He had a solid girlfriend. He had a lot of good friends. He had dogs. He had a really good house. He was really kind of set up. And when the show started, like you said, we moved, up to Vancouver.
Well, Jared, did you know the story about like shooting the pilot in the village or in the valley rather, and then the show gets picked up. We go to the upfronts in New York. We go to Nobu.
We filmed the pilot in LA. Thinking we were gonna then with the show. We would film in LA.
Which is like 5 minutes from where we both lived.
And he could just continue this great setup that he had in LA.
Months pass, so we shoot it February and March. Get picked up in May, go to New York to announce the show's picked up, and then we get invited out to a dinner with all bosses at the time. And they're like, okay, Jared, Jensen, Ricky, congratulations. You have a great time in Vancouver. And we're sitting there like, what? And we found out after the show was picked up, after we did all the interviews about doing the show, that we were filming in Canada. So that was a big, like, pull the rug out kind of thing. It ended up being amazing, and Vancouver was a phenomenal place. And obviously, I think the show worked out well. He was talking about it, so things happened for a reason. But yeah, it caught me off guard. I got by with a little help from my friend, so here we are. Don't we all? Thank you. Yes, so much.
Hi, I'm Jessie.
Jessie.
First, I just wanted to say thank you guys because your shows have been helping me with dealing with the loss of my son a couple of years ago.
Sorry, Jessie.
So my second question is, I know you guys did anime. Do you guys like anime or do you like...
Did Amway?
Anime.
Sorry. What's going on over here? Say it. I thought you said Amway. I didn't hear it. Anime. I dabbled in Amway. It was a college thing, it was a fad. Don't judge me. I hated it.
You didn't like doing the voiceover? Well, here's the thing. With the anime that we were asked to do, he ended up doing a lot more than I agreed to.
Just because we like
Yeah, I've done voiceover work, which was different than the anime experience that we had, because they had already done it, and it was already animation was already done to the voices that had been, to a foreign language voice that had been pre-recorded, so it was already done. So we were coming in trying to effectively dub it in English, but the words didn't sync up with the movement of the mouth. So it was just really awkward, and we were trying to maneuver or kind of, adjust the dialogue to try and fit what the animation was doing, which is really completely backwards than the way it's normally done. Normally you would record all the voice work and then the animation would be done to the voice. And so I enjoyed that process, but the anime that we did was the reverse of that, and it was just really awkward and not that enjoyable.
Yeah, but anime sucks, anime is great. Thank you, Jesse. Hey, sorry about your son. Glad that we all found a family together.
I'm Bree. I've been asked this question to meet you in Nashville last year, and I've been trying to ask you this ever since. He said it blew his mind, so when you eat a taco, do you tip your head to the left or the right?
Is there a right answer here?
Yes.
Left.
Yeah, I'm the left.
Yeah, because
I go left.
I hold it with the right. Same with a piece of pizza, because I'm one of those, like, get the piece of pizza in half. So I'm
Same with a kiss.
right-handed.
Oh.
Prove it. Yeah. I guess I lean left.
Wait, what?
What about you?
I'm more of a burrito girl, but I go both ways.
Y'all, I know that everybody here has thought about it. Are y'all left or right? Right.
Over her shoulders.
I can't turn right at all. Me and Derek Zoolander are incapable. We can both do this deal. Amazing. Thank you for that mind trip. My brain hurts. Thank you. Hi there.
Yeah, now it both seems weird. Now I don't. I just come straight in.
Yes. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Hold on. I'm trying to still see.
Nelson's Philly.
Are you ready?
You love us.
Okay, moving on.
Hi.
Hello boys, how are you?
How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm Hannah from London.
I have.
My question to you, if you could live in another country, where would it be and why?
Italy.
I think about it.
No, because Italy, like, you get the bread, you lean your head to the left. Although, it's very, I love it. I love Italy. My wife is in the process of getting her Italian passport, which means that I get grandfather into it, even though
Me too.
apparently, for 23andMe. I'll take it. So, Italy is a place that I've always loved and enjoyed. But I have a lot more to travel. Hopefully, Italy. Signor Angles.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy in America. It was an option, you failed. No, there's a few out there that I think would be really fun to live in. I think Italy is certainly one. I'm a big fan. My my wife's parents, my in-laws, have had a place on the west coast of Scotland for like 17, 18 years. I think I can see myself being there. I hear Portugal's lovely. I'm interested in that. So yeah, there's some good places. They all seem to be good. Switzerland, I love Switzerland. It's also Europe.
Switzerland is pretty neutral. That was good. That was damn good. That's one of my best in months. Sorry, I'm very proud of myself. It's a little more.
Yeah, very little more. Where other than the States would you have your list of places to live?
I like Austria. Austria's
Austria, good day, man. Well, good on ya. Koala bears. That's a Dumb and Dumber reference. Sorry, watch it. Austria, the Outback and all that.
Go to walkabout. Yeah, that sounds great.
Kangaroos, wallabies. Sounds beautiful. I'm sorry.
Very great weekend. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
How you doing? My name's Randy.
Hey,
I was wondering, what were one of the most difficult obstacles you guys had to face or overcome either growing up or in your adult life?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Great question. I think maybe where do I start? Where do we start? But I'll give it a shot. And this is going to sound a little absurd and maybe esoteric, but just uncertainty in general. As a kid, I didn't have much and didn't know what I was going to do. And then, he and I had a very similar journey into what we do for a living now, where both 17-year-old Texans going like, guess I'm going to head to the West Coast, where everybody wants to be an actor or an actress or writer or director or producer. And so it's just, even to this day, it feels uncertain, because even, we both worked for 20-something years, like, hey, you're doing some strike, so enjoy your time. You're like, well, how do I work? Like, how do I provide for my family and provide an example of who I want to be for my kids and this and that. And so just trying to accept that nothing is certain and just do the best you can. And that's the whole thing about the earlier question, where don't wait for life to happen, life is happening. And so uncertainty is a part of it that you kind of have to deal with. I know that's broad, I'm sorry, I wish there was I could go through 1,000 examples of it, but it'd be very boring. What? Yeah, for sure. Love it like it is.
Love it like it is.
Do you work for Amway? Sorry, I agree.
Fake it. Still doing it.
We are faking it.
Still doing it. I would say there's, life is full of challenges. It's otherwise you're very boring. So I think you embrace those challenges, and each one kind of makes you better. What is it? Something about you're not being challenged, you're not learning, or say I don't know. Something. There's a lot of quotes out there. What is it? You're not learning, you're not growing, and when you're challenged, you're learning things. That's teaching you things. So I would say one of the things that I can, there's probably a few that I can pick up, but when I got to the point, Steve and I both left and moved out to the West Coast when we were teenagers. which thinking about that now, knowing what I know now, I cannot believe that our parents allowed us to do that. But, you know, you ask my dad to this day, he'll tell you one of the hardest things he's ever had to do with his life was get on that airplane after he drove me out to LA and leave his 18-year-old son in one of the biggest cities in the world alone. When I got to a point, and it was probably when I booked a little show called Days of Our Lives. He's also been one of the biggest challenges in my life. Coming to terms with the fact that I was probably never going to move back home. And that I was destined to be gone. And that was tough getting over because I had a very great childhood. Like my parents were there, both my grandparents came to all my games and like sporting events, all that stuff. So I was raised in a very loving home. And leaving that and realizing that I probably wasn't going to go back to that took a big it was a big leap of faith for me to do it. But again, I'm happy I did it because it has given me quite the journey. And I think that if we cling to what's safe, then we miss out on journeys that might just be more rewarding than you could possibly imagine. So I'm still living that today.
I love that he said that. He put it more eloquently than I could have. But it made me think about being in this room today, and he was talking about, you know, when he was on days, he's saying like, okay, I might not ever go back home, but much like a lot of us now, like home is where family is, and family don't mean blood, so you found family, and that's family. And that means it's family. Hopefully you'll all feel at home here, comfortable, and supported. I mean, we've got a big old awesome supernatural family, and I said supernatural, and fucking fire me, so I gotta do shit. I do do shit, that's money right now. If you want to work at SAG, I love you, wherever you are. Thank you, I'm just teasing. I want to say, just to echo what this dude was talking about. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, appreciate it.
Hi guys, I'm Lisa. So, what personality trait from yourselves did you bring to Sam and Dean, and what personality traits from Sam and Dean did you take to yourselves?
It's first.
I will say that I am very analytical. And he would tease me often because I still read instruction manuals. You know, I'll buy an iPhone. It's my third iPhone. It'll still like
Instruction manuals. That's just a suggestion.
I still kind of I find myself a little bit more at home plugged into a book than out and about, and maybe I use it as a refuge as well. What did S-Dubs give JP? Some pretty awesome hair. It's easy. You know, I think this, and kind of going back to this room, a prior question, I was able to explore, I'm grateful that I was able to explore a lot of what loyalty and sacrifice meant without actually having to get possessed by Lucifer and die several times and have your brother die several times. So I learned a lot about how to persevere, even if I was only doing it by pretending to be someone who is choosing to persevere. So I guess I learned that perseverance, ultimately, in my opinion, is a choice. And I've taken that with me proudly for the last decade and a half.
I would say something that I brought to, that I kind of brought to from my own personal personality would be a fierce protection of the ones that I love. And I don't mean that necessarily from a physical standpoint, like sure, if somebody, if we're walking down the street and somebody pushes him and starts barking at him, I'm probably going to come right over his shoulder with a fist.
It's happened before.
It has happened. But I don't always mean that physically. I can also, like, if somebody is, if somebody is bad-mouthing somebody that I love, then I will wear them down mentally very quickly. And it is something that I will do unwaveringly. I feel like Dean was very much that as well. I shared that in common with him. Something that I maybe learned from Dean. I think after playing that character for 15 years, my temper has shortened. Which doesn't play into the Dean fiercely protective very well. So that's still trying to balance those things out.
I think you're just old, man.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. So I think you would agree. Those two characters are still very much alive and living inside of us. And will forever. When they surface, will be what we all, I think, are waiting to hear and see when that happens. And I know that that's something.
We're not gone. We're just dead for now. Everybody say hello to Stephanie from Georgia. All of Georgia? Or like part of it? Southern Georgia. Anybody from Southern Georgia? All right, I'm not full of shit, but Stephanie, welcome. You can see what we can see, which is pretty awesome.
This is just basically bright lights.
This is family. And
What's your
as we do, last question.
What's your last question?
Actually, in Vision Health, Stage 3 cancer, and listening to music was really good. Helping me get through it. I was feeling that social inspiration for starting out. And I'm huge fan of both of you.
Amazing.
From Going Bulls and Candidates for Life, actually.
Correct. I would say just having friends that are true musicians in my life that I get inspired by musically quite often. And then it was finally some of those friends encouraging me to listen to that inspiration and do something with it. And that was a result, I think, probably a long time coming. And it's given me it's giving me not only just a voice, but it's giving me confidence to kind of do it and enjoy it. That's music's a powerful thing. So, thank you.
And you're very welcome. Pleasure. Thank you, Chef.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, Chef.
Cheer and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But we have one more thing that we have to do.
We do.
We have one more thing we have to do.
That's right.
We need Jennifer Gregory up here right now. Yep, up here. Here we go, Cliff. Thank you. Brittany Marriott, we need you up here right now. And where's Victoria right here? Where's Victoria? She's back. Get over here, Victoria. All up here. Come on now. Let's go.
We're so happy about this.
Round of applause. Let me make it abundantly clear that this show doesn't go forward without the people behind the scenes who make it move. And these three women make it move and have done so brilliantly. And it's a birthday!
Was that, I think, really,